2018 NLCS, it feels like now is our chance. Otherwise, I don't know what the future holds.
Next game is Thursday at 5:08 start time as the Brewers look to hold on. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
A woman who allegedly beat her mother with a rock on Milwaukee's South Side now facing a homicide charge.
29-year-old Lauren Spores is accused of attacking her mother, 64-year-old Carrie Zettel, Sunday afternoon near 23rd and Ramsey. According to the criminal complaint, neighbors saw Spores beating her mother in the head repeatedly with a rock. Police later found Zettel dead outside her home from her injuries. Neighbors say Spores has a history of schizophrenia. Zettel was granted a restraining order against Spores in 2018 after multiple alleged instances of domestic violence. Spores violated the order 4 times and was found not competent to move forward with court proceedings each time. If convicted, Spores could spend the rest of her life in jail. Elizabeth Linton, WTMJ News.
Day 15 of the government shutdown, and today when many federal employees will stop getting fully paid.
The Trump administration has found a way to keep paying members of the military, but for many others, the clock has run out.
There is no win, there is no value, there is no savings by continuing this government shutdown.
Alaska Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski.
Let's just end it. Let's get people back to work. Let's get people paid. Let's get functioning again.
A GOP spending bill to end the shutdown fell short for an 8th time in the Senate yesterday. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
In the Middle East, the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas holding, but there are disputes between both sides. News Nation's Marnie Hughes.
Israel says it expects Hamas to fulfill its obligations in the ceasefire after the remains of some Israeli hostages are now back home. But there are some issues that still remain complex in this agreement. Hamas only releasing the bodies after Israel threatened to cut aid to Gaza, with President Trump warning that the terror group must disarm or face consequences. The IDF says the remains of the 4th body that was returned does not belong to a hostage. In February, the IDF says the remains of one person Hamas returned also did not match any of the hostages.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with families of those hostages last night. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Green across the board. The Dow up 303 points at 46,573. The NASDAQ up almost 300 points as well at 22,821. And the S&P 500 up 68 points at 6,713. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
So it's about time you spruced up your home. Nothing major. You're not looking to spend a ton, but you are looking for something that'll give your quarters a little upgrade. You know there are a lot of things you can do with glass. Simply beveling your mirrors can do wonders. You can mill out your wood cabinet doors and replace the center with attractive glass inserts, or customize them with unique handcrafted artistry, or maybe a theme. You could even install a new glass shower door and add some real appeal to your bathroom. They're all pretty affordable home improvements, and Les's Glass Service has been helping homeowners like you for just about longer than anyone in town. You probably don't realize how affordably we can help you reach your home's full potential, but we do, and we can show you countless options. So if it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavidi here to talk about my brand new show, WTMJ Outdoors. Coming up, we're talking turkey. This week we talk hunting in Wisconsin, deer hunting from the outdoors perspective, equipment, and deer camp. And we wrap it up with a conversation about wolves in Douglas County, Wisconsin. All things Wisconsin outdoors. Join us every Saturday, 2 to 3, right here on 620 WTMJ.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
At Og Prep North, we know the only way to build the future is on the foundation of excellence and faith. Og Prep North, built for academic, artistic, and athletic excellence, made for more. Learn more at ogprep.org.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to adventknows.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Big hole for the Brewers after dropping Game 2 last night to the Dodgers 5-1. A first-inning homer for Jackson Chourio gave the Crew an early lead, but then LA starter Yoshinobu Yamamoto giving up just 3 hits, went the full 9 innings. It was the first postseason complete game in 8 years. Brewers offense now just 5 hits through the first 2 games of the series. They'll try to change that as they are in Los Angeles, games 3, 4, and 5 in LA. Game 3 tomorrow night, a 5:08 first pitch. Bucks wrapping up the preseason. They fell last night to the Oklahoma City Thunder 116-112. Bucks will start the regular season next week against the Wizards. Take a look at the roads, your WTMJ time saver traffic. No major issues, but a couple of incidents. I-43 southbound right near Beecher Street. Part of the left shoulder is blocked there due to a crash. And then also 43 northbound right at Howard Avenue. Part of the right shoulder there is blocked as well. That's because of a disabled vehicle. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. We saw some of those showers early, but those have moved out of the area. Cloudier conditions this afternoon, a high of 60. We'll see some gradual clearing tonight, a low down to 52. For Thursday, partly cloudy. We could maybe see a shower, a high of 65. Partly sunny, mild on Friday with a high around 70. And then into the weekend, Saturday, some rain chances. Will be breezy and mild, a high of 68. And then could see some showers early Sunday with a high of 60. Right now, 53 in Madison, it's 56 degrees in Kenosha, and sitting at 57 in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:07.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scafidi and Kristin Brey.
Good. Oh, here we go.
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo! Indeed, indeed. It is hump day. And it is 2 more shows till Steve gets back. He's back on Friday. Hopefully this shutdown and problems at the airport won't make his trip home a disaster, but we will find out. All right. Well, coming up today at the top of the 11 o'clock hour, Senator Tammy Baldwin is going to join us over the phone, actually on video. So if you're watching the YouTube stream, you'll be able to see her live. You can always watch the YouTube stream by just texting WATCH to 855-616-1620. You can see the bold lipstick that I went with today to try to not look so washed out with this overhead lighting. So yes, that's coming up at 11. At 10:30, we're going to talk to the producer of No Packers, No Life, because it's hump day, so we're going to have a little bit of a break from politics. I'm very excited. They're having their world premiere tonight at the Majestic Theater in, I don't know if it's technically Waukesha or Brookfield, but yeah, it's around there. So we're going to talk about that, and then Ask Me Anything. So if you have questions for me for the end of the show around 11:30, you can start texting them in now, and I will copy and paste them into my little doc so I can reference back to them. But but first, maybe Instagram is making some progress when it comes to protecting kids, but I am not going to hold my breath. So after a year, so it's been a year since Instagram first overhauled its teen settings. And now, as of yesterday, they said that they're tightening their reins again. So they announced another round of changes aimed at boosting child safety, what they're calling PG-13 ratings. So yes, so it's trying to use common nomenclature, like when we think about movie ratings, so parents can have an idea of what content is going to be moderated for people who are under 18. So the company Meta, obviously owns Facebook and Instagram, said that they're going to block users under 18 from seeing content deemed PG-13 and above. So that's partial nudity. It is some violence, I guess. But like, if you want to think of movies that are PG-13, that's Titanic, Happy Gilmore. What else is PG-13? It's been so long since I've had to worry about ratings that I can, because I, as an adult, can see whatever I want. But this new age gating thing policy is also going to cover the chats. So Meta has their AI bot, which Congress is currently investigating for inappropriate sensual chats with children. So I guess the point is that Instagram's trying to reassure parents, but I think most of us are a little skeptical on whether or not this is going to work. I think most analysts doubt that it's going to work because if you think about teens lying about their age online to get around restrictions. And so and also the last time they did this, they didn't do a very good job. So I remember earlier this year in May, there was a Washington Post article that talked about a report from Accountable Tech and Design It For Us, which is a group of young advocates talking about tech. And they did an experiment where they pretended to be teens. And they were not protected from sensitive content. They were shown lots of it, including content on not eating so you can stay thin, sexual content, body shaming. And so I just don't believe that this is necessarily going to work, but we'll see. There is new state laws that are trying to crack down on this. Gavin Newsom in California signed an AI chatbot bill meant to protect children. He actually signed a batch of them. And so hopefully because of the amount of people who are in California, that kind of leads the way as far as the standards. If they have to apply in California, they might as well just make it national. Interestingly enough, the bill in Wisconsin banning cell phones in classrooms is headed to the governor's desk. It's weirdly partisan here. I'm trying to get a little bit more information as far as what is in the bill, as why there wasn't Democratic support for there. And so we don't know if Governor Evers is actually going to sign it. But in general, I think it is a good thing that we are continuing to iterate on trying to make the internet a better, kinder place. Because as of right now, and the story we're going to talk about when we come back, the internet is eating some of our souls and our morality, and it is pouring gasoline on finding community through cruelty. And the more and faster that we can try to curb that, I think the better we will all be, because there were some texts that were leaked from young Republicans that are not great. And when we come back, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what that says about all of us. So stay with us on Point Taken.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scafidi from Milwaukee Weight Loss. Yes, I can't believe it, but you should believe it, because I lost now 46 pounds since January. How did I do it? Milwaukee Weight Loss. Not the shots, not the gimmicky stuff, the meals, bars, shakes, just hard work, willpower, eating less, still getting my 10,000 steps in, but it reset my metabolism because I've been off the reduction program for a while now, and I was actually still losing some weight. And the weight comes off. It's doctor-developed and natural and helped thousands of people just like me, and certainly you lose that body weight in just 8 weeks, then you got to maintain. Most people, 20 to 30 pounds of weight loss. If you have a reunion or a wedding or a vacation you're looking forward to, this is the answer for you. It was for me. Milwaukee Weight Loss, incredible team. Their coaches are amazing. Part of the success story that I had was those coaches at Milwaukee Weight Loss. Schedule your free consultation today, or go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com, or call 262-393-2334. I'm reading it slow because somebody said, you're reading it too fast. 262-393-2334. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Time out on the field. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, a whole house of new windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no extra interest.
And unlike opponents, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin actually stops the drafts.
Don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today at PellaWI.com.
Zero restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2025.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristin Brey. Happy Hump Day. So, the internet is eating our soul. Let's get into it. So yesterday I opened Instagram, as I am wont to do more times than I'd like to admit in any given day. And I saw this post from Politico, and the image is a lot of very disturbing chat bubbles. And the headline saying, leaked chats show young GOP leaders joking about gas chambers, slavery, and rape. Yes. So Politico dropped a story yesterday that pulled the curtain back on a secret Telegram chat. So I've never used Telegram. I think it's like WhatsApp or Signal, as far as it just being a way to, like, a chat messaging app. But this Telegram chat had state leaders of the Young Republicans. So this is people in their 20s and 30s who, I think the Young Republicans is a group that largely contributes to the pipeline of the next generation of GOP leadership. And it's different from what I understand. It is different from Turning Points USA. And their website, they say the Young Republicans are the oldest political youth organization in the United States, important to the growth of the Republican Party. The YRs reach out to registered Republicans 18 to 40 years of age and provide them with better political knowledge and understanding of the issues of the day. So what reporters found was not, you can go read it. It should be on the front page of Politico right now, but it was bad. It was really bad. So it's almost 3,000 pages, because I sent it to Bill. I was like, is anyone in your circle talking about this today? And he was in the middle of doing something. He goes, no, I'm sure it's just something that was taken out of context. And I was like, it's 3,000 pages there's plenty of context that's there, but it was 3,000 pages of vile, racist, violent messages. So they joked, like I said, they joked about rape. They praised Hitler. They made fun of the Holocaust and was fantasizing about gas chambers. They used a lot of slurs. And it should be noted that these aren't, even though the name Young Republicans, these are not college students. This is not like a college chapter. These people, one of them's a state senator. These are people who hold positions. They're staffers. They're like the heads, either the presidents or the vice presidents of their state YR organization. And like I said, these are people who kind of build up the pipeline for future GOP leaders. And to be fair, as far as when these messages came out yesterday, the fallout was immediate. So the board of directors from the National Young Republicans immediately released a statement saying those involved must immediately resign from all positions within their state and local Young Republican organizations. We must hold ourselves to highest standards of integrity, respect, and professionalism. So it wasn't totally just swept under the rug, although J.D. Vance kind of swept it under the rug, but I digress. But I was trying to survey the quote-unquote internet's reaction, and there wasn't a lot of surprise. There was a lot of people who were basically like, yeah, this tracks. And my point with this is that this is a symptom of millennials and Gen Z's brain rot on the internet. And because to a certain extent, locker room talk, whether you talk like this in locker rooms or not, but the idea of what locker room talk is, right? It's at its core an attempt to bond through punching down. And I think when we think locker room talk, we typically think men, but it's the same thing with some women in like gossiping, right? So you talking poorly about someone in order to create connection. But with the internet now, and the 4chans and the Andrew Tates and the Nick Fuenteses, it's locker room talk on steroids. Guys, but also girls, it's bonding through irony, through shock value, which escalates into bigotry that becomes kind of like a social glue for some people. And I think part of it is like they know that the words are awful. Like they know what they're saying is for shock value, and that's the point. They say outrageous things to be able to prove, like, to one-up each other. And this, I still think that this is like while some of it has always existed, a lot of it is accelerated because of places like 4chan and Reddit and darker corners of TikTok and X, where owning the libs is a personality and cruelty is the language of belonging. And I don't think it's just Republicans. Like I think these are really bad. But there is just something that I think it's like we talk about it a lot as far as this screen separating us from the reality of what we're actually saying. And the reason why this is a big deal and we can't just memory hold it is because these are the people who are if they're bringing this culture with them into their political positions of like the digital nihilism, the trolling, the irony, the refusal to take responsibility. And like we see this reflected a little bit in like whoever's running the White House Instagram account right now is like the trolling and the memes that they're using for cruelty. And like I said, these are adults. These are people with careers and paychecks and public titles and who learn politics through memes. And that's what I mean when I say the internet is eating their souls, our souls, because I think it's eroding our ability for empathy and for seriousness and for shame, because attention is the currency. So, and I think to a certain extent, we all helped feed that beast, like with every retweet of a shocking clip or viral outrage cycle. And it just teaches the same lesson that there's no such thing as like bad attention. And so, and it's not, like I said, it's not just one political party. Like we talked about the Jay Jones, Democratic candidate for Attorney General in Virginia and his horrific text. But even I was mentioning it, the story that broke it was a local story, but in 2024, that there was Journal Sentinel wrote an article because the campaign manager of Janet Protasewicz's campaign went on a podcast and talked about like the crude running joke they had about Dan Kelly. And it's like, again, the bonding through cruelty. And so this is to me like the latest, probably not the last, but albeit shocking reflection of the online world that we've built, where young people are being radicalized through the shock value and the irony of some of these quote unquote jokes. And so this is disgusting. I mean, full stop. It'll probably be forgotten in a week, but I just want to have us be reminded that we've built an ecosystem that rewards people being loud instead of thoughtful and rewards them for being divisive instead of decent. And so we got to find a way to make decency interesting again, and that's what we start to reward instead of dunking on each other or owning the libs or making fun of each other, because this is terrible. And it doesn't, like, the internet doesn't eat your soul all at once, right? It happens like meme by meme, post by post, joke by joke, until the world that just mistakes cruelty for conviction. So anyways, we'll take a break. Come back after this.
The Wisconsin retirement system impacts over 690,000 people, including police, firefighters, teachers, and UW employees. Join Annex Wealth Management and WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for a free webinar. Understand your WRS potential on Tuesday, October 21st at 3:30 p.m. Learn how your WRS pension fits into your financial portfolio and planning. The Annex Financial Planning team is experienced with WRS pensions and holistic financial planning. Register at annexwealth.com/events. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management.
We see you out there doing things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can find the same trusted products at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Like PrimeGuard RV and Marine Premium Antifreeze, just $2.99 a gallon. Staybill Gasoline Stabilizer, $10.99 a quart. Motor Medic Instant Starting Fluid, only $4.49. Plus, we offer Blaine's Best Price Promise, guaranteeing you the lowest price with us or we'll match it. Right here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You've heard about Tri-County Contracting and their worry-free roof tune-up. You've heard about their instant roof quote. But don't forget, Tri-County Contracting also handles windows. Our project at my home moving right along right now, and the process has been so easy and thorough. It's nice when you can trust the team you're working with and know that they are looking out for you. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and also windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Bring every detail of your world into clear focus with personalized eye care at Shopko Optical. Vince Vitrano here. The experienced and caring team of eye care professionals at Shopko provide comprehensive eye exams tailored to your unique vision needs. Need glasses, contacts, both? From expert care to the perfect prescription eyewear for your lifestyle. Get everything in one convenient visit. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule your exam. Shopko Optical, partners in your eye care.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristin Brey, and since we're piling on, the internet has eaten our soul sentiment, because in the last segment I was talking about the leaked Telegram, 3,000 pages of leaked Telegram chats between some young Republican leaders. But I know, and now I'm getting the text of like the Democrats do it too, and the both sides of them, and like some people don't like both sides of them, but I will say this, because I heard this, I didn't read it this morning, but I heard it coming in with Eric and Vince talking about it, and it's absolutely disgusting. And I think it also goes to this, of why anyone thinks that this would be okay. So in Oshkosh, here, at a farmer's market, the Winnebago County Democratic Party has now been banned from returning to the Oshkosh farmer's market because a volunteer at the booth gave an 8-year-old a bracelet reading, "Is he dead yet?" Which obviously is a reference to President Trump and people who are hoping that he will die in office. And what are we doing? Like, that is what I mean, of like the normalcy of that online, because I've seen those videos. I've seen lots of people make videos and joke. It's like, has it happened yet? And to translate that into thinking that it's appropriate to make a friendship bracelet that says that and hand it out at a farmer's market, like, that is absolutely disgusting and inappropriate. And furthermore, strategically, that's not how you get people to, like, the whole Democratic issue right now is like, what are you besides anti-Trump? Like, give people something to vote for. That is such a, because I think if you're going to be responsible with the opportunity to be at a farmer's market and as a county party to know people that you like, let people know that you exist and have people join the party if they want to, give them information. But that is reprehensible. And again, I think it comes from this idea that the things that we do and say online are bleeding out into our day-to-day character and actions. And it's because the internet is a bad place. This is like the theme of 2025, I think, for me, is just and I made this comment a couple weeks ago in one of my Journal Sentinel pieces of like, are we to the point where it's like smoking in the 90s, where by the time we got to the 90s, everyone knew smoking was bad for you, but it really took banning it in public places, in restaurants and everywhere to get people to actually quit smoking. I think so many of us know the internet is bad for us, but we have to exist with it. It's more like food, really, of like, you have to have a relationship with it now in some way or another, especially if you work in news or media at all. But it is just it's such a toxic place. All right. We're going to have some more fun after this. We're going to talk about the new documentary that's having its world premiere at the Majestic Marcus Theater tonight. No Packers, No Life. It is about diehard Packers fans in Japan and them getting to go to Titletown for the first time. So I can't wait to talk to Sean Hanish about that. But first, ABC News and local headlines.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot.
Speaker Johnson knows that I will be the 218th signature on the discharge petition for the Epstein files.
Even with the government in shutdown, Jeffrey Epstein's a hot topic. Their representative-elect from Arizona, Adelita Grijalva, saying Speaker Johnson is using the shutdown as cover, not to swear her in.
He is doing everything in his power to shield this administration from accountability.
Johnson says that the government needs to be reopened, but she says that wasn't the case when Johnson swore in 2 Republicans out of a formal legislative session. Sources tell ABC News that Israel is preparing to receive more hostage bodies this evening. As Israel waits on Hamas to hold up its end of the deal, the peace is mostly holding, but not all aid is getting through to the Gazans. The World Meteorological Organization says CO2 growth rates hit a high last year, carbon monoxide tripling since the 1960s, causing more extreme weather. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Neil Doyle. One person dead after a car crash into a Milwaukee County Transit System parking garage. Milwaukee police say that happened around 2:30 this morning near 35th and Locust. The 44-year-old driver of the SUV veered off the road, going through a fence before crashing into part of the parking garage. The driver was taken to the hospital and later died. Authorities say it's unknown if the driver died from a medical emergency or from the injuries in the crash. Milwaukee Public Schools saying its athletics commissioner is no longer with the district. Bobby Kelsey was first hired by MPS in 2019. Under her leadership last year, the district's athletics office failed to properly file paperwork with the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association for 2 of its football teams. That led both Bayview and Pulaski High Schools to not move forward in the football playoffs. Former MPS Athletics Commissioner Bill Molbeck will be taking over for the time being. An effort to revamp and renovate correctional facilities throughout parts of Wisconsin, Governor Tony Evers asking the State Building Commission to release $15 million from the state budget to help state-run prisons. The funding would add space to some of the facilities and also help establish vocational programs for inmates nearing the end of their release. The State Building Commission will consider the governor's request later this month. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Still green across the board. The Dow up 238 points at 46,509. The NASDAQ up 245 at 22,765. And up 53 points, the S&P 500 sitting at 6,694. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. No major issues, moving along nicely, but one incident, 43 southbound, right beyond the ramp from Beecher Road. Still part of that right shoulder blocked because of a disabled vehicle. And here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. We saw some of those showers early, but those have moved out of the area. Will be mostly cloudy throughout the afternoon, a high of 60. Some gradual clearing tonight, low down to 52. Partly cloudy skies on Thursday. We could maybe see a shower pop up, high of 65. Partly sunny, more mild on Friday, a high of 70 degrees. And then into the weekend, we could see some rain on Saturday, highs in the upper 60s. And then possibly some early showers on Sunday with a high of 60. Right now, 54 degrees in Sheboygan. It's 55 in Racine and sitting at 57 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1034.
Does your bathroom belong in a haunted house? Or maybe it's just time for a refresh. WTMJ and Sidex are back with the Beautiful Bathroom Contest. One lucky listener will win a tub or shower conversion valued up to $10,000. It's easy. Snap a pic of your scary shower, terrifying tub, or even just one you're tired of. And enter now at WTMJ.com. Sidex makes it easy to go from fright to fabulous.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns. It's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with the new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors rank first among all home improvement projects. To see Geis's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield, or you can also visit their online showroom at geisdoors.com. Geis has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geis at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geis. Visit them online at geisdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
We're wandering Tokyo, and I see a guy with a Packers jersey on. And I'm like, no way. I just quietly say, go back, go. And he shouts back, go back, go! The Japanese Packer cheering team.
Packers number one.
I love Packers. No Packers, no right. Insanely passionate to a degree which probably most people from Wisconsin aren't. You guys are welcome.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristin Brey. That is the opening of the trailer for No Packers, No Life, From Tokyo to Titletown. It is a new documentary that's having its world premiere tonight from the producers who brought you Just a Bit Outside, which feels very appropriate. But yes, and Sean Hanish, who is the director-producer of Just a Bit Outside and now one of the co-producers of No Packers, No Life, is here with us in person to tell us all about this movie because we all could use a break from politics.
I mean, that's why we made this film.
So I had no idea. Did you have any idea that this fandom existed in Tokyo?
Zero. I had no clue. And it was amazing because we found I was at the Wisconsin Film Festival in April.
Okay.
And I saw that this movie No Packers No Life, it has Packers in it, and of course, come on.
Yeah.
So I went to see it, and boy, that crowd and I loved this movie. Yeah. I mean, it's so joyful, and it tells the story of this group of Packer fans that started in the mid-'90s. It really started around the '96 Super Bowl. And
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because wasn't there also something that we played a game or something? Didn't the Packers play some in Japan at one point that I totally forgot about?
We did, and two of the members of the Japanese Packers cheering team, that was their first date.
Oh my God!
I mean, it's amazing to find such a passionate group of fans, outside of Wisconsin, but outside of the country.
Yeah,
and they're wild for it. I mean, they get up at 5 a.m. to watch the games every Monday morning. I mean, that's when they work. And then they'll get together in the office.
Are they watching them live?
Yes, at a karaoke bar.
That's amazing.
That's the thing is this movie puts such a smile on your face because it's an amazing connection. So most of these, I think only 2 of the 30 members that came over the first time to go to Lambeau, which is what the movie is about.
Yeah.
It's about taking these passionate fans from Tokyo and these wonderful people, Ty Morse and his friends from Green Bay, put them up in their houses, flew them over, got a block of tickets, and took them to, what for many of them was the trip of a lifetime.
Yeah.
A lot of them, most of them had never been to the States before, and they land in Green Bay. I mean, it's so charming and lovely. So I saw the movie and I was like, wait, we did Just a Bit Outside. And, the people of Wisconsin are so supportive of our film, but really of Wisconsin sports in general.
Absolutely.
So we were like, well, I think we can do this. And then our friends at Marcus Theaters loved the movie. And so we're actually opening across the state on Friday.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about the event tonight, and then we'll talk about where everyone can see it this weekend.
Great. Tonight, we're at the Marcus Majestic. It is a VIP premiere. We're going to have members of the Japanese Packers cheering team. We're going to have.
So you flew them back.
We flew two of the members, the youngest and the oldest.
Okay.
The youngest is in his 20s. The oldest is in his 70s. And so they're both going to be there. We have some former Packer greats that are going to be there. Amon Green, Antonio Freeman, George Kuntz, who've been amazingly supportive. So, yeah, we're doing this event tonight. It's at 5:30. Some of the proceeds benefit the Boys and Girls Club of Milwaukee. So we have a few tickets remaining at NoPackersNoLife.com.
Perfect.
But if you're unable to come to that, we open statewide on Friday.
In Marcus Theaters. Across the state.
Across the state, all around Milwaukee.
Oh, and then I saw there's like a screening and a talk back on Friday. Did I see that?
Thursday night at the North Shore. Mason Crosby is going to be part of the Q&A virtually. And we're almost sold out of that show. So if you want to go, please buy tickets now. I think we have about 2 dozen left.
2 dozen left. So you can find all the tickets and all the information at NoPackersNoLife.com. Like you said, in Mequon, Marcus North Shore Cinema is the event tomorrow. There's an event tonight at Marcus Majestic in Waukesha. So you obviously didn't make the film. You just came on board to use the knowledge you'd learned from Just a Bit Outside to help this breathe more life and distribution into this film. And so is this going to have, because I remember when we talked to you for Just a Bit Outside, it was kind of this push of we need to get people to the theater so this can have a longer life. Is that a similar thing for No Packers, No Life?
It's 100% similar.
Okay.
Because of the success of Just a Bit Outside in theaters, we got the interest of Roku, who, as we started, in Roku in April, and now we're on Tubi with that baseball film. And so, yes, it's so important that, if you're a fan of the Packers, if you're interested in this film, that you come out and see it in theaters, because that does extend the life for other people to see it.
Absolutely. So that is No Packers, No Life. I do want to tell people, so you can now stream Just a Bit Outside, because I feel like you were on every single WTMJ show when that movie first came out. I feel like you guys were just in and out of the building because everyone was excited about the documentary. Obviously, it has even more life right now because of the Brewers run, but people can stream it on Roku?
You can stream, Just a Bit Outside on Roku, and it just started on Tubi.
Okay, perfect.
So, it's out there and it's free.
And it feels like a need, because we need that little boost right now. You've been at both games these last 2 nights.
I brought my son in for this premiere, so we were at the Packers game Sunday.
Oh, wow.
And then,
big sports week.
I mean, he's 13. He freaked out, though I will admit that the defeat at 13 of your favorite team at the Brewers, it hits hard.
Did he cry?
He did not cry,
Good.
But he was pretty bummed.
Yeah.
Monday night's game was actually really, really fun. And
I know. I was there.
You were there?
I was there.
I mean, so close. Last night's not so close, unfortunately. But you know what? Never give up with this team. Honestly, they don't give up.
I agree. So you're still feeling so there's some magic left?
Here's the thing. I have this sports for me tends to lay out in narratives and tends to go to the highest drama. So I think this team can come back. I think we will see a game 6.
Okay.
And if we get a game 6, anything can happen.
That's true. I like that. I like the drama. I like the storytelling. It's written in the stars, baby.
Well, I mean, it is the season of Euchre Magic. So, I mean, now we need that magic more than ever, right?
And then you can make another documentary about it.
Yes, I will be. It's very funny. I was talking to some of the folks at the Brewers. Yes, that is. Let's win.
No matter what, that might be in the cards.
Let's go do it.
Yeah, I believe that. All right, Sean Hanisch. Thank you for making Wisconsin sports movies. There's nothing that I think Wisconsin can come together on more than sports, and so we need more of that. But thank you so much for coming in. Good luck with the premiere tonight. I can't wait to see it in my local Marcus Theater. So, NoPackersNoLife.com if you want more information about tonight's screening or where you can find it for the rest of the run of the show. Sean Hanisch, thanks for coming in.
Thanks so much, Kristin.
Absolutely.
It's been fun.
All right, we'll be back with more after this.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi, and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handled all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
The fall home buying season is officially here, which sometimes means less competition among home buyers, but that doesn't seem to be the case this year, with most listings still getting multiple offers. Now, a lot of home shoppers just go with their bank for their pre-approval. But if you'd like to get into your new home for the holidays, now's the time to get started with a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet, or switch if you started somewhere else. Not only will we put a $2,000 guarantee behind our fully verified pre-approval, we'll also work with you and your real estate agent to craft offers that get accepted over the rest. Our favorite tool is to see if we can get an appraisal waiver for the property you're trying to buy. Sure, that takes more effort on our part, but adding those magic words, "no appraisal required," to your property-specific pre-approval can be the difference maker. And our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks for the same rate. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button today at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Take your family to the Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford or Oshkosh today for the Wednesday all-you-can-eat fish fry and just $7.99. Kids 5 and under eat free from the kids menu. Just walk in for your $7.99 fish fry. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the Mine Shaft restaurant.
Big thanks again to Sean Hannish for joining us in studio to talk about No Packers, No Life. I can't wait to see it. It looks like such a feel-good movie, and who doesn't love some Packers in any way, shape, or form? All right, the annual Breakthrough Type 1 Diabetes Walk is this Saturday at Greenfield Park, and as hundreds will come out to raise money for Type 1 diabetes research. I just checked the website. As of right now, their goal is $335,000. They are currently at $291,000, so that's tracking very well. WTMJ's Eric Bilstad, who has type 1 diabetes himself, tells the story of a teenager from Brookfield who is living and thriving with type 1 diabetes.
I play tennis a lot. That's something I've been into. I play for my school team as well.
Meet Yuvraj. Typical 15-year-old boy from Brookfield. He's got his friends. He's interested in finance.
I hope to pursue a job like that in the future, too. So
he looks healthy enough when you meet him.
So I actually have to go play tennis after this. So when I'm done, I'm going to have to check my blood sugar, eat something to make sure my blood sugar is high. And then even while I'm playing, I'm going to have to check every 20, 30 minutes to make sure I'm not too low or not too high. And
you see, Yuvraj has type 1 diabetes, otherwise known as T1D. Yeah, I have a direct. Oh, there you go. Yep, I know that sound. Yep, so I know exactly that sound. Yep. Been there. So T1D has similarities to type 2 diabetes, but they are dramatically different. T1D, typically diagnosed in children, but not always, is an autoimmune disease. Your pancreas stops producing necessary insulin to control your body's blood sugar. A blood sugar too high can cause catastrophic damage to your body. A blood sugar too low can mean falling unconscious, suffering a seizure, or even worse.
That's probably the worst thing you can be subjected to see your child suffer. It was very painful.
Tejwan Singh is Yuvraj's father. Yuvraj was first diagnosed back in 2019. It was unexpected, for Tejwan, a cardiologist by trade, knew all too well.
I've taken care of a lot of type 1 diabetics myself, and that was it's a double-edged sword. All of a sudden I could see how bad and nasty this disease can be if not well managed.
So the family had to learn together. Mom and Dad had to figure out how to teach their son this new normal. When they said, yeah, well, you have T1D, what was your reaction?
Honestly, I think I was a little confused when I first got it, but the only thing I understood was that my life was going to be completely different. I didn't realize that I would have to take a shot for every single thing, so that was a little hard to adjust.
I've had sleepless nights for years.
Constantly checking a blood sugar means long, exhausting days and nights.
Getting up in the middle of the night, giving him, sugar is too high, give him insulin, and then all of a sudden I dosed it, a little more, then I could not sleep for the next hour and a half to make sure what is going to dip too low. Your child's life is at risk, how can you sleep?
There is hope. The medical devices used to treat T1D are getting more advanced all the time.
Technology is improving. It's not perfect yet. We have, ways to go.
The tech is improving by a lot, thanks to Breakthrough T1D, which raises money for research, finding new ways to live with, hopefully prevent or even stop type 1 diabetes.
I got my insulin pump. It's easy. I can just pull out my phone and just put a number in and it'll give me the insulin. So that's really useful.
As for Yuvraj, he's doing great. He was even able to travel to Washington, D.C. to push for more Breakthrough T1D initiatives.
I got to share my experiences with our senators. And honestly, it's one of the most life-changing experiences I think I've ever done because it made me realize I'm here to do something good. And there were 150 kids in total, and seeing all those kids from different states, it just made me realize that there are so many people out there like me.
Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
I love when Eric does these. Obviously, it's very personal for him, but they're done so well, and they're such good stories to uplift. But Yuvraj's team has raised nearly $20,000, and you can learn more by texting WALK, W-A-L-K, to the Citing Unlimited Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. We'll take another break and come back and wrap up the hour on Point Taken.
The Wisconsin retirement system impacts over 690,000 people, including police, firefighters, teachers, and UW employees. Join Annex Wealth Management and WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for a free webinar, Understand Your WRS Potential, on Tuesday, October 21st at 3:30 p.m. Learn how your WRS pension fits into your financial portfolio and planning. The Annex Financial Planning team is experienced with WRS pensions and holistic financial planning. Register at annexwealth.com/events. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management.
Wisconsin Harley-Davidson's filling up your fall calendar. Join them Sunday, October 19th for the Freedom 150 ride, celebrating 150 years of Economowalk and the U.S. Paralympic Wheelchair Curling Team. The ride starts at the dealership with stops at Open Road and West Bend Harley-Davidson, ending at Rally Point for a concert. And don't miss the early Halloween celebration, Saturday, October 25th at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and at WISHD.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
You know, James, we'll be running this place together for a while, and one day, hopefully, you and your kids will be doing the same.
That's the plan, Dad. And we're making changes so we stay ahead of the game.
Like the new Marty's Pizza Delafield.com?
We've made it extremely easy for both our young and older customers to make fast online orders.
It is really convenient, but if you like to call your orders in, a friendly Marty's Pizza employee will be there to answer with a smile.
Remember Marty's Pizza, right off of I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
And at Marty'sPizzaDelafield.com.
Dad, it's been almost 7 decades, and I think we just keep getting better.
And we've been in Delafield since 1982. We've been very fortunate.
At Marty's Pizza, we do our best to keep prices at a value.
And we stay true to our roots with the tastiest thin pepperoni we can find. 100% of real mozzarella cheese, our very own exclusive sausage, and an almost 70-year-old sauce recipe, both which Marty himself taught us how to make.
Dad, we got to keep on trucking.
We will, son. We will.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Deb Cruz, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee. Adam member new car dealers have factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
Shop smarter with Higher Love Cannabis Company in Menominee, Michigan, just a few seconds across the Wisconsin border. Award-winning, organically grown, quality products you can trust. Don't settle for knockoffs in Wisconsin. Get the real deal at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Kohler Services and Capital Heating and Cooling. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Wrapping things up on the first hour of this Hump Day edition of Point Taken. Scrolling through some of the text from the first half hour. And it's also, so the first half hour, if you missed it, we were talking about the leaked texts that came in that were reported on yesterday in Politico from young Republican leaders. And my sentiment is the internet is a toxic, terrible place that is allowing behavior and decaying our morality in the way that we talk about people like in groups and out groups and pouring gasoline on the bonding over degrading people outside of our in-group. And some of the reactions, I mean, there's a lot of people who agree with me, but then some of the reactions, like this like gut instinct to always say, well, the other side is worse. Why aren't you talking about the other side? Or if I do talk about people on the Democrats, it's like, well, that's the apples and oranges and stuff. It's like, until we all start taking accountability and not immediately knee-jerk reaction saying, well, the other side is worse. Like, you can't fix things unless you actually take accountability for what you add to it, how you contribute to it, people who are like-minded, and just pointing fingers all the time and whataboutism, whatabouting everything isn't going to help. So if you text me and say, well, what about this? I'm going to say, tough luck. Like, we have to start taking accountability on all sides of the spectrum. So that's my take on that. All right. When we come back, hopefully we will have the U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin will be joining us, so long as we don't have any connection issues. But I'm going to talk to her about the shutdown and where Democrats go from here. Then I have thoughts on the Maine Senate race. I know that's a far way from here, but some points as far as age when it comes to candidates. And then for the last half hour, we'll do Ask Us Anything, or Ask Me Anything. So if you have a question for me, feel free to text it in to 855-616-1620. But first, the news.
Does your bathroom belong in a haunted house? Or maybe it's just time for a refresh. WTMJ and Sidex are back with the Beautiful Bathroom Contest. One lucky listener will win a tub or shower conversion valued up to $10,000. It's easy. Snap a pic of your scary shower, terrifying tub, or even just one you're tired of. And enter now at WTMJ.com. Sidex makes it easy to go from fright to fabulous.
We all have someone we know or love that has been affected by some form of cancer.
No matter how well you love and support them and try to be there for them, you can never really know what a person is feeling after hearing the words, "You have breast cancer."
Only another person that has been through this experience can really understand what it feels like.
ABCD, After Breast Cancer Diagnosis, is a Milwaukee-based organization known around the world.
When someone calls ABCD, they are matched with a mentor who is a breast cancer survivor of similar age and has the same type of breast cancer, who can provide hope when people need it the most.
Kessler's is excited to announce that we've designed 3 new Hope pendants to honor breast cancer patients, survivors, thrivers, and caregivers.
100% of the net proceeds, along with an additional donation from Kessler's, will support ABCD when you purchase the symbol of hope.
You can find a link with more information about ABCD, along with all 3 modern designs starting at just $75 in sterling silver and $598 in gold, online at KesslersDiamonds.com.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief, because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. It's kindness, it's compassion, it's very specialized training. Their mission is to transform the culture of care, and they're doing that every single day. I've been in their places. I've seen how they love and take care of people with cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, or other related dementia symptoms. In part at Azura, they do such a great job because their staff goes through specialized training. They're going to take great care of you. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin, Wisconsin-based, family-owned. It's Azura.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At
11 o'clock, it's 55 degrees. Today, those morning showers have finally tapered off and it'll be mostly cloudy with a high of 60. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Tiff Pua. Wisconsin lawmakers are passing a bill that would require public schools to ban students from using cell phones in classrooms.
Supporters like Republican State Senator Rachel Cabral Guevara say this will help students focus.
When we look at polls, 97% of children will utilize their phone at least once a day within the classroom.
Democratic State Senator Melissa Ratcliffe worries about communication during emergencies.
Would be a dangerous step backward in ensuring the immediate safety of our children, especially in the wake of recent horrific shootings and crises.
Most school districts across the state have already implemented some form of a cell phone restriction. The bill now heads to the governor's desk. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Finding ways to save money with the new city budget could mean cutting Milwaukee's streetcar.
The HOP costs upward of $7 million a year. Alderman of the 13th District, Scott Spiker, supports getting rid of the HOP, saying it's expensive to run and ineffective. He tells WTMJ,
I think that in its current design, nobody can really be a fan because it's locked into that 2-mile loop, isn't growing for any foreseeable future. And at some point, you have to say what is worth $4 million a year. Make sure that money is used a little more wisely.
The HOP was built with a $69 million grant from the federal government. Spiker says he doesn't see the government asking for it back if the HOP is eliminated. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin has paused abortion services at their Milwaukee, Sheboygan, and Madison locations due to the Big Beautiful Bill. OBGYN and former congressional candidate Dr. Kristin Lyerly tells WTMJ's Point Taken what services they can still provide.
Family planning, it's STI screening for sexually transmitted infections, it's contraception, it's cancer screening, it's preventive care, so much other stuff. The way that the bill was written would take down Planned Parenthood clinics all across the country. And we don't want our patients who need all of these other services, who rely on these other services.
About 4% of Planned Parenthood services are abortions. The Supreme Court hears arguments today on the use of race in redistricting. A group of white voters is challenging Louisiana's congressional map, claiming the creation of a second majority black district is unconstitutional. The state argues it created the district to comply with the Voting Rights Act. CBS's Jan Crawford is at the Supreme Court.
The Voting Rights Act of 1965, that 60-year-old law that was passed at the height of segregation, and one part of it in particular called Section 2. Now, that provision of the Voting Rights Act can require states to draw up legislative districts that sometimes zigzag across the state, grouping voters together based on their race, to draw up a majority black district.
If the justices decide that race-based congressional maps are unconstitutional, that could benefit Republicans by eliminating majority black and Latino seats that tend to favor Democrats. And as the Brewers are down 2 games to the Dodgers in the NLCS, Milwaukee fans are trying to stay positive.
The Brewers are heading to Los Angeles to continue their tough playoff matchup. Fans are still in good spirits and holding on to hope.
I mean, it'd be euphoric. I don't know if I would shed a tear, but it would definitely be something that would be something to remember for the rest of my life.
Brewers fan Sean Collard tells WTMJ he's got Brewers in 7 in the NLCS and World Series.
I was brought up with my dad being a massive Brewers fan, and all he's gotten to see is a World Series loss in 1982 against the Cardinals in 7. And if, I can see them winning 7 or winning less, I think it'd be something that I'd be telling my kids about for decades.
Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Game 3 is set for tomorrow night with a 5:08 first pitch from Los Angeles. Time for news about your money. Here's your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything is in the green on your boards today. The Dow is up 114 points to 46,384. The S&P 500 is up 35 points to 6,679. And the NASDAQ is up 177 points to 22,699. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:04.
You gotta get to Built Right today. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Built Right furniture, leather, and mattresses. Built Right's 97th anniversary celebration, plus their $1 million clearance sell-off are on now. If you are looking for affordable, better quality furniture or mattresses, you do what my family does. You go to Built Right. We love our new furniture, and most importantly, we enjoyed the shopping experience. 4 generations, 97 years strong, 19 years in their Greenfield location. 3rd and 4th generation family members on hand in the store, along with their amazing team. Be ready for your holiday guests. Thousands of items in stock. Or you can always custom order at a low sale price. USA made, small scale, Ohio Amish made, and real solid wood furniture. 60 models of USA made mattresses. Built Right saves you money. Free in-store design services too. Voted best place to shop. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday. Closed to be with family. Tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Neck and back surgeries can be risky. Your spine deserves the best. That's why professional athletes choose Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. We can help you too. With the top nationally rated spine surgeons in the state for quality outcomes, you can trust the professionals at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Get a second opinion in just a few clicks. Now offered virtually throughout Wisconsin. Visit nscwi.com. Whether you want to get back into the game or just get back to life, go where the pros go. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is our passion.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. A losing day for both of Milwaukee's teams. A big hole now for the Brewers after losing Game 2 of the NLCS to the Dodgers 5-1.
2-strike pitch to Vaughn. Swing and a miss. Yamamoto strikes out Vaughn, and the Dodgers have taken the first 2 games in the National League Championship Series.
The Brewers' offense was just 5 hits through the first 2 games. Games 3, 4, and 5 now shift to Los Angeles. Game 3 is set for tomorrow night with a 5:08 first pitch. And the Bucks wrapped up the preseason with a 116-112 loss to Oklahoma City. The Bucks start the regular season next Wednesday against the Washington Wizards. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We have a few disabled vehicles on the roads this morning, but everything's out of traffic, so that should not be impacting your ride. We've got one spot that has a slowdown. 41 southbound starting at about Fond du Lac, just until you get past Good Hope. You'll be tapping the brakes there, but otherwise it'll be smooth sailing around the system. Stay safe out there, everyone. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Those showers are out of our area, and now it's mostly cloudy with a high of 60. Tonight with a gradual clearing, a low of 52. Thursday, partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers, a high of 65. For your Friday, warms up just a little bit, partly sunny and mild with a chance of afternoon storms, a high of 70. Then Saturday, rain is likely, breezy and mild with a high of 68. Sunday, morning showers again, and then gradually clearing, a high of 60. Right now in Madison, it's 53. In Waukesha, it's 54. In Green Bay, it's 52. And in Milwaukee, it's cloudy and 55 degrees. I'm Tiff Pua. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scafidi and Kristin Brey.
Welcome back to the 11 o'clock hour of Point Taken. Steve will be back on Friday. Still got me. Hope you're enjoying it. All right, we are on day 15 of the shutdown. Yesterday, the Senate rejected a potential funding deal for the 8th time, guaranteeing that the government shutdown that has furloughed hundreds of thousands of workers and caused disruption in services across the country will continue. So joining us now to give us some insight on negotiations or lack thereof is U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin. Welcome back to the show, Senator.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I got to ask, so you've been in Congress for over 2 decades. So you've lived through some shutdowns. Does this one feel different?
Well, what feels different to me right now is the anxiety and concern that I'm hearing from constituents across Wisconsin who are facing these incredible choices about their health care. People who are on the Affordable Care Act marketplace, they have that insurance, are seeing the potential for their costs to double, triple, quadruple. And many of these individuals and families are small business owners, farmers, already seeing really tight margins. And when healthcare is personal, And so I'm hearing these stories that are so powerful. And so it feels different in that regard. I mean, prior shutdowns have been over policy issues that don't hit as close to home. And so this fight is deeply personal. It's causing a lot of worry among Wisconsinites who just don't believe they're going to be able to afford to keep their health care if Congress doesn't act. And, you know, I could share so many stories that I've heard, but, you know, I'll pick on Gigi, who's a small business owner in Dane County, just opened her business, has a storefront on Main Street, and she also is a cancer survivor. She had a childhood cancer, had chemotherapy, so she has some needs, even now she's in complete remission, that make her health care expensive. And she is looking at least a quadrupling if her premiums don't change because of the dropping of the Affordable Care Act credits, and much worse if her premiums also go up, which everyone anticipates will happen. And she's like, her small business is her dream, but she thinks she may have to close the door and you know, try to find a job at a huge employer that offers health insurance just to you know, survive. And this is these are the sort of stories I'm hearing over and over again across the state.
So I guess, I mean, I get it, right? Like, I get the hard line that is happening. I think you're right. Healthcare is really personal, and it seems to only be getting more expensive, which is a whole other issue as far as how do we get healthcare costs down across the board. But as far as the very real shutdown that is happening, and people are going to start feeling in their pockets, because I think today was payday, what is it going to take? I mean, it seems like the Democrats are holding the line. Like, what would get you to a yes?
You know, I have heard from so many Republican colleagues, most of them very quietly, that they want to fix this problem. Okay. But a couple of them really vocally. I mean, I didn't talk to her directly, but I took notice when Marjorie Taylor Greene, a MAGA Republican from Georgia, she's been very vocal. Her 2 adult children got their notices about what their premiums are going to cost next year. They cannot afford it. They're young adults. And she understands that what her children are telling her is reflective of so many other constituents in her Georgia congressional district that she's like, we've got to fix this. She said it very loudly, but I can promise you my Republican colleagues, many of them in the Senate, are more quietly saying the same things. We've got to fix it. And this is sort of ridiculous when they say, or when their leadership says, yeah, we'll talk about fixing it, but open the government first. We'll have a conversation then. That is not sufficient. We have got to have an ironclad agreement that we're going to fix this problem because it's so imminent. You know, there's a healthcare crisis generally. You pointed to it just now, and we have to tackle that too. A lot of that was created by the what Trump called the big beautiful bill, what I call the big ugly bill. There's lots of other elements of the healthcare crisis that we've got to address, but this one is imminent. Next week, Wisconsinites are going to get their premium notices. They get sent out Monday, October 20th. And so throughout the week, people are going to see that. It's going to be devastating for many. And frankly, they don't want a handshake agreement that maybe someday we'll start talking about this. We need action now.
So are you basically saying that unless you get this compromise, as far as them saying we'll extend the subsidies, you're a no?
That is my position right now. We need to reopen the government and bring down healthcare costs. They need to be done in tandem.
Do you feel at all from leadership, because I think there's been some rhetoric around pointing to the polling of who's to blame for the shutdown, and feeling like as of right now, Republicans are getting more of the blame. If that started to shift to Democrats, that people were blaming Democrats for the shutdown, do you think leadership would start to rethink their position on this?
Well, let me give you another polling statistic, and that is that 80% of Americans support extending the Affordable Care Act premium tax credits, the tax breaks for working families to help them afford their health care. And that's, we're talking about what are the political fallout if they blame the Republicans or blame Trump or blame Democrats for the shutdown. Right now, 80% of Americans think that Congress needs to extend these tax breaks for working families to afford their health care. And frankly, if we don't, the political ramifications for Republicans, regardless of who they're blaming for the shutdown, is going to be enormous. Trump knows that. He's been sort of, floating out ideas of extending the tax credits and then snatching them back, right? But that just shows how many cracks in the dam there are right now. And we've got to make sure that we keep fighting for the American people, that I keep fighting for the Wisconsinites who will be impacted. And the impact is far beyond just those who are on the Affordable Care Act, because rural hospitals are going to start to go under or drop vital services because of this and the big ugly bill. And so it's going to impact people who live in rural areas. It's going to impact those who see their premiums go up in other circumstances because of how much the system is out of whack because of both the big ugly bill and the potential expiration of these tax credits for working families.
What do you say to people who aren't following this as closely and just kind of throw their hands up and feel like they're pawns inside of a political game of who's going to blink first?
I think one of the things is just to share these stories, these compelling stories. We are fighting a battle that's going to impact all Wisconsinites. Healthcare, as I said, is so personal. And we want to be able to protect ourselves and our families, and we don't want a system where so many are falling between the cracks. This is just the first step, extending these Affordable Care Act tax credits. We have many other steps to take to bring down healthcare costs, to address a system that is in so many ways fundamentally broken. But let's not see people's healthcare premiums double, triple, quadruple, as we're seeing in some other states right now.
Then final question, then I'll let you go, because this is kind of a big one, but I didn't get to ask you this the last time you were on. Obviously, it's not news that Democrats as a party right now, not very popular. What do you feel like could move the needle as far as Democrats kind of regaining popularity, regaining people's optimism? Like, where do you see the gap right now? Yeah, so first of all, I understand the polls, but this is not a popularity contest. My mission right now is to stand up for Wisconsinites and healthcare costs and bring them down. What's so interesting is that Donald Trump ran for president last year to bring down healthcare costs, to bring down grocery costs, to bring down energy costs, to bring down costs, period. And people elected him because of that promise. He has betrayed that faith that people placed in him. All costs are going up right now. Childcare costs, housing costs, grocery costs, healthcare costs. His tariffs are wreaking havoc. The big ugly bill is wreaking havoc. And the expiration of the Affordable Care Act tax credits are wreaking havoc. And we can do something about that. We can stand up and fight. And, whether that results in renewed popularity or not, we're just going to stand up and fight to do what's right and bring down costs. All right. Thank you so much for your time today, Senator. This has been enlightening, and hopefully this shutdown will get resolved sooner. Maybe, hopefully we won't break the record for 35 days.
Oh, sure. Thank you so much for having me. We're going to keep on fighting.
Absolutely. Have a great day, Senator.
You too.
All right. We'll be back with more after this.
What's on Tap with Sandy Max, keeping you updated on culture and creativity.
The Wisconsin Film Office. We can say it out loud. It's going to happen. Academy Award winner John Ridley.
So I'm glad that Wisconsin is getting in the game. I hope they stay in the game. Wisconsin is great because it has so many different looks. It has so many different places. It has places that are untouched. It has places that are incredibly modern.
What's on Tap with Sandy Max, weeknights at 6 on WTMJ.
WTMJ and Sidex are back with the Beautiful Bathroom Contest. One lucky listener will win a tub or shower conversion valued up to $10,000. It's easy. Just snap a picture of your scary shower or your terrifying tub or just one that you're tired of and enter now. Text BOO, B-O-O, to the WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620 or visit WTMJ.com to submit your picture and for full contest rules.
All different types of injury lawyers advertise. Cartoon lawyers, bobblehead lawyers, and folks chasing ambulances with text messages. Our clients don't want or need such lawyers. Our clients know, like, and trust that Pasternak and Zergabel will help in their time of need. I'm Jeff Zergabel of Pasternak and Zergabel. Frank Pasternak and I are excellent personal injury lawyers in our community. If you need help after an injury, go to Pasternak and Zergabel at injurywisconsin.com. That's injurywisconsin.com.
It's Gina Della. You've heard me define what makes Pella Windows and Doors different. Let me introduce you to the woman behind the billboards, commercials, and share my extraordinary journey of resilience, reinvention, and shattering glass ceilings every Saturday morning at 6:30 on 620 WTMJ and anywhere you stream podcasts for What's the Difference with Gina Della to discuss business coaching across all industries, featuring successful executives, entrepreneurs, and mentors along the way. This is a story you won't want to miss.
Your what?
Making Thanksgiving dinner.
Why so early?
So I can serve a big family meal on the flay table from Penny Mustard.
Oh, I love the flay table.
Melt butter and add peanut butter.
The strong Midwest craftsmanship ensures family feasts for generations.
Mix in strained beets and mayonnaise.
What recipe are you making?
What's a recipe?
The flay table with Kendall chairs, starting at just $287 a month, with no interest until October of 2027, through October 19th at Penny Mustard. Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago. PennyMustard.com.
Thanks again to Senator Tammy Baldwin for spending some time with us. I saw on the text line someone asked if we were going to have equal time with Senator Ron Johnson. We would love to have Ron Johnson on the show. I know Steve has reached out to him many times to invite him to come on, and we have not gotten a response. But the door is always open to all of our elected officials to come on this show, no matter which party. So yes, we would love to have Ron Johnson on. He just has to say yes and actually call in. All right. So this is, I have so many thoughts on this. And since we ran long with the senator, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to all of it, but I think maybe we'll revisit it with Steve when he's back on Friday, because I think there's more meat on the bone. And obviously this doesn't, the actual facts of the case does not impact us here in Wisconsin, but I'll try to paint the picture. So Maine Governor Janet Mills has entered the race to challenge Republican Senator Susan Collins in next year's election. And it's now going to be a pretty crowded primary. And that seat specifically is important because it's one which Democrats have the best chance to flip the seat. And it kind of is bringing up this question about lots of things. One, about primaries. And then also about a problem for the Democrats, which is very old people still being in office, because Janet Mills is 77. And by the time she would take office, she would be 79, which means she will be 85 at the end of her term. And, you know, from what I know about her, I got to see her speak at the DNC last year. Obviously, she had a viral moment earlier this year in an exchange with President Trump. I think she's probably well liked in Maine, but there is just this feeling of like, really? Are we really running someone who's this old? But I think there's also this bigger question around primaries, and I think that actually is applicable to Wisconsin as far as why we should want primaries, even if it seems like it's distracting from the general election and putting resources and targeting them towards the Republican opponent. So looking at the clock, I'm going to come back and make my argument of why primaries are important. And so stay with us. Yeah, I'm looking at that. We're going to come back and talk about this a little bit more after the break on Point Taken.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. But it's simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle until I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeanssitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns, it's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
I'm here to help. This is your WTMJ Fix-It Show host, David Nason, with expert advice for our listeners. If you're dealing with leaks, stains, or cracks in your basement, it's time to call my trusted friends at Accurate Basement Repair. And you know what? You'll get a free expert evaluation on me. You just tell them David Nason, the Fix-It guy, told me to call. Don't let basement issues mess up your home. Trust Accurate Basement Repair to get the job done right. And again, that's Accurate Basement Repair, 414-744-6900 or AccurateBasementRepair.com.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristin Brey, and quickly giving thoughts on primaries because in Maine, obviously not Wisconsin, there is now a fairly crowded primary for Senate. Janet Mills, their current governor, has gotten into the race, and she is backed by, she is Chuck Schumer's choice. And there's lots of questions about her age and if that's going to be an issue or not. But then there's also, from the standpoint of the Democratic Senate caucus, like they would like to not have a crowded primary. They would like to have her just be able to focus on the general and vice versa. I know Bernie Sanders, who has endorsed Graham Plattner, who is everything I know about this man so far. I think he's a great messenger. He's an oyster farmer. He's a veteran. I have a clip, but I don't think I'm going to get to play it. Maybe I'll play it after the bottom of the hour news. But I think and he was saying that Bernie Sanders also said something along the lines of Graham should just like run away with it and not have a primary. But the thing is, and I think this is what is relevant for Wisconsin, is that primaries aren't necessarily divisive, and campaigns that spend money won't be wasting it, because if a candidate is out there organizing voters and persuading them that he or she is worthy of support, it is an investment in the general election. And it's also listen, I like jungle primaries more than partisan primaries, but either way, a primary is a test that shows what the candidates have to offer. And like, it is everything I know about running for office, which is not a lot because I haven't, but it seems difficult and complex. And I think there is people who think they're going to be good at it and they turn out not to be. And plenty of others succeed at doing it a few times and then fail when they try for other offices. And so sometimes an experienced candidate isn't suited to a new political environment. And sometimes primaries surprise you. Like AOC came out of like a primary that no one thought she could win, right? Back in 2018. And Barack Obama also was the primary that beat Hillary Clinton in 2008 when no one thought like he was bold enough to run against her. And so like there is opportunity for primaries for people to emerge and be the surprise candidate, which is good. And so maybe in the case of Maine, Graham Plattner will prove to be that kind of talent to go up against the establishment candidate, or maybe Janet Mills will demonstrate that she has what it takes to be, what got her elected governor twice. But I think either way, like there is a conversation around the age piece, but I think it is also reinforcing that primaries are a good thing. When we think about the primary in Wisconsin, at least on the Democratic side, it is very crowded, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. And we should not just pave the way for people because some back room decided that that's the candidate. So that's my 2 cents. All right, when we come back, ask me anything. Text us in. But now news.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. It's now day 15 of the government shutdown. The Senate will vote again today on a clean bill to end it. House Speaker Mike Johnson, meantime, facing calls by Democrats in the Congressional Hispanic Caucus to swear in Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva, a Democrat from Arizona. Here's ABC's Chuck Severson.
Grijalva was elected September 23rd. Grijalva Wednesday with fellow Hispanic congressional lawmakers repeating this allegation.
Speaker Johnson knows that I will be the 218th signature on the discharge petition for the Epstein files. He is doing everything in his power to shield this administration from accountability. That is not leadership. That is obstruction.
She says earlier this year, Johnson swore in 2 Florida Republicans less than 24 hours after their election.
A key border crossing in Rafah is closed, cutting aid into Gaza in half today. That after Israel accused Hamas of violating the ceasefire agreement to return all remaining bodies of the dead hostages. On Wall Street, stocks are up on positive earnings from banks. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:31. I'm Tiff Pua. Investigating how a newlywed couple died after being found inside a car. Police found 30-year-old Brandon and 29-year-old Rachel Dumovich of Sharon, Wisconsin, along Route 14 in Harvard, Illinois on October 6. They each appeared to have died from a single gunshot wound right before their first wedding anniversary. A gun was found at the scene. Investigators say murder-suicide is possible. A new law moves forward to curb reckless driving. The Wisconsin legislature approved separate Senate and Assembly measures Tuesday that would allow police to impound any vehicle used in reckless driving offenses, regardless of who owns the car. The owner would then have 90 days to pay any fines and pick up the vehicle before it's destroyed. Police would also make an attempt to contact a car's owner if it turns out to be lost or stolen. The legislation earned strong bipartisan support and now heads to the governor's desk for approval. And Port Milwaukee gets a new leader. Milwaukee's Mayor Cavalier Johnson appoints Benjamin Tim as the new municipal port director. Tim spent 24 years working for the Department of City Development. He succeeds former port director Jackie Q. Carter, who served for almost 8 years before being promoted to lead Milwaukee's Department of Employee Relations. Milwaukee Common Council will approve Tim's appointment in the next few weeks. Time for news about your money. Here's your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything's still in the green on your boards. The Dow is up 85 points to 46,355. The S&P 500 is up 31 points to 6,675. And the NASDAQ is up 163 points to 22,685. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Well, the good news is that most of the disabled vehicles have been cleared up from the roadways. And now we just have one spot for slowdowns. 41 southbound still starting a little bit before Fond du Lac and clearing up just past Good Hope. Stay safe out there, everyone. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, mostly cloudy with a high of 60 degrees. Tonight, with a gradual clearing, a low of 52. Thursday, partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers, a high of 65. For your Friday, the warmest day so far, partly sunny and mild with a chance of afternoon showers or storms, high of 70. Saturday, rain is likely, breezy and mild with a high of 68. And for Sunday, morning showers and then gradual clearing, a high of 60. Right now in Genesee, it's 54. In Campbellsport, it's 55. And in Milwaukee, it's cloudy and 55 degrees. I'm Tiff Pua. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:34.
Amish outdoor furniture with poly and wood available. And that poly is the richest of outdoor furniture. It's just about indestructible and will virtually last forever. At Erickson's, we have poly furniture in abundance, so you're guaranteed to see a great selection. The beauty of it is you can put it outside all year round and not worry about it, because the color runs all the way through, so it doesn't fade, and minor nicks and scratches won't hurt the look. Erickson's Landscape Supply. For an abundant selection of poly and wood Amish outdoor furniture, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. You'll be hard-pressed to find a better selection of metal yard art than we have here at Erickson's. Anything from natural and painted metal signs to painted roosters from 1 to 6 feet tall. Natural steel flying ducks and cattails. Cute little frogs, geckos, pigs, flamingos, and goats. And palm trees. The list is endless. And that's why you come here. Erickson's Landscape Supply, right on Spring Street in Union Grove, where you'll find a fantastic array of artisanal metal yard art. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Or better yet, drive on over and take a gander at the goods.
Potential is like God's love. It lives within everyone and shows us that we are made for more. At Aug Prep, faith ignites excellence in academics, the arts, athletics, and every aspect of our lives. Students don't just realize their full potential, we learn to soar. The #1 K-12 school in Milwaukee is expanding to the North Shore and is now enrolling grades K4 through 6th and 9th. Aug Prep North, made for more. Apply today at augprep.org.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Deb Cruz, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee. Adam member new car dealers have factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
Now it's time for Ask Us Anything on Point Taken. Got a burning question? Give us a call or text on the Siding Unlimited Talk and Text line at 855-616-1620.
Why do we never get
Indeed. Ask me anything. Shoot us a text, 855-616-1620, or give us a call. No, Steve, so we could actually have a conversation on the phone if you'd like. But yes, start sending those in. But I also have a question back, and this is legitimate. So I have someone who kindly on the text line took issue with me referring to Janet Mills as old at 77. And so I am someone who thinks words like old or like fat should be objective, neutral terms that are just statements, right? Because 77 is old. I don't think Janet Mills herself would say that she's young. She might say she's young at heart. She might say she still has a lot of youthful energy, but just plainly in the, the timeline of life, 77 is not young. So I guess if there is a reference or like a word that you think is less offensive than calling someone old once they're in their later years, let me know what that word is if I should swap it out for something else. 855-616-1620. Here's a question. Why didn't I talk about the Israeli hostages being released? I mean, we did talk about it on Friday with Joe and Bill as far as the peace deal. I don't know. I guess it's more of, to mention that it happened and that I'm relieved that it happened. Certainly, I as I said, I am cautiously optimistic. I think like many people are, that this peace deal will hold. I'm happy for the hostages and the families who have been reunited. I'm happy for the Palestinian people who were detained and are now get to go home. Everything feels that I'm reading, everything feels very fragile still. And I think sometimes when I'm picking topics for the show, I want to pick something that I have a hard and fast opinion on or more information of, or trying to shed some light. And sometimes when it comes to the Middle East, and everything that's happening over there, I constantly don't feel like I have full information. And so sometimes it feels like, am I the right person to be talking about this? But I'll say it plainly now, like I'm happy for the hostages that they're finally released, and I'm happy and I'm optimistic that hopefully this is a step forward and not just a slight step forward to only take 2 steps back. So yes, that is how I feel about that. What is the biggest challenge of working with Steve Scafidi? And I do like him. What is the biggest challenge of working with Steve Scafidi? I love working with Steve. My life, once Steve and I got this show, I've said it many times, my life just got easier because he and I work really well together and have such organic chemistry in our banter that just doing this show is very easy. I think the hardest thing is that sometimes he gets a lot of vacation. And the fact that he has these listener trips and he abandons me for 2 weeks at a time. But other than that, I think it's just we have very different styles. Like, I don't think it would be a surprise to anyone who listens to the show that I am, I like to prep. I like to have as much information as possible so I don't say something that is blatantly wrong. And Steve, I make Steve prep more, and he makes me feel more confident to just trust myself and not have to overdo it. So there's some innate tension there. I will say that. All right. Why am I the way that I am? I don't know how to interpret that. From the 414, why are you the way you are? I'd have to ask my therapist or my parents to answer that, probably. Elderly. Oh, no, this is going back to different words to use besides old. Senior, elderly, more mature. All fair suggestions. All right, let's take a quick break, but just keep sending your questions in. 855-616-1620. I will answer almost anything that you ask. Probably have some boundaries. But we will come back after this with more of your questions.
Dave Spano from Annex Wealth Management. It didn't seem like it when the season started, but we've watched the crew become a great team. We're just as proud of the team here at Annex. I'll put the Annex team up against anyone when it comes to what we do. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. If that's what you're looking for, let's talk soon. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button. In the meantime, let's enjoy championship baseball in Milwaukee.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristin Brey, and if you're in the market for a new dentist, you should check out my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economawalk Dental Care. Dr. Michaels is committed to providing you with the highest level of care possible. I can assure you that he's going to prioritize your needs, no matter how sensitive, just like he did with mine. And he's also going to be honest with you. I went in and he was like, we could do this now, but I would wait and just let it play out a little bit more. So it's nice to know that he isn't just going to do as much work up front that he can, because he's really just trying to look out for the health of your mouth. So whether you need a simple cleaning, an exam, teeth whitening, or a more complex dental procedure, Economawalk Dental will always make you feel as comfortable as possible and give you and your family an amazing smile. We all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Call and make an appointment today with my dentist, Dr. James Michaels, at Economawalk Dental Care, 262-567-7224.
A new physician has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Dr. Derek Damrow. Originally from Sheboygan, Dr. Damrow earned his biochemistry degree from the University of Wisconsin-Madison and completed medical school at the Medical College of Wisconsin. He trained alongside a world-renowned upper extremity surgeon at the University of Florida. Dr. Damrow is now back in southeastern Wisconsin to provide specialized shoulder and elbow care through Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Learn more or schedule an appointment at orthowisconsin.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with a refreshing offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. My new friend Chris from Oostburg is one of their skilled installers who demos your existing bath or shower, removes it, and disposes it before installing your brand new dream shower. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Treat your valuable employees to a company holiday party at the historic Fox & Hounds restaurant. When you buy one dinner, you get one free, so half your employees' dinners are free, saving your company hundreds of dollars. Visit foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. That's foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Welcome back to Ask Me Anything on Point Taken, the Hump Day edition. We actually have some calls, so let's get Steve from Oak Creek. Steve, what is your question?
I wanted to call in case you wanted to have a conversation with someone named Steve from Oak Creek.
You're a good second choice. Let's go. What's going on, Steve? What's your question?
My question is, do you think, regardless of what happens to the Brewers, we should still have a parade for the Brewers?
No, I don't. I think we should celebrate and be so excited that we're here and that we've had the season that we've had. But I think I think parades have to be reserved for actually winning. I think that is something. I think we can celebrate our own ways, but a city ordained parade, I think, might be too much if we don't bring home the World Series. What do you think?
Well, that'll give the incentives more. That'll give the Brewers more reason to win. Then
exactly. We gotta the comeback of the year. Thanks for the call, Steve. I think that'd be. I think we can be happy and grateful that we make it if we don't get it out of this series. But I think a parade might be a step too far. All right, back to the text line. Someone asked if I've been planning to go to the No Kings March on Saturday. As of right now, no, I'm not. Okay. No, as of right now, I'm not. I could change my mind, but as of right now, we have other plans for the weekend. Why don't you take texts and calls like Steve did on his old show? I think that comes back to time, honestly. I think we talked about this a little bit last week. As far as a 2-hour show goes really fast. I think it only ends up being about an hour of us actually talking on the show with both of our voices. And so I think when it's a solo show, like when Steve had the show alone, or other hosts when they have a show alone, the opportunity presents itself to have more calls and texts. But with how quickly the show goes, having guests, having the back and forth between Steve and I think it just doesn't present itself as there's enough time to do that. I know people really like that. And so maybe we can figure out, this is obviously on Ask Us Anything. Maybe on Fridays when Joe and Bill aren't here for the whole time, we can do more sound off on Fridays and hear from you guys. But you're also always welcome to shoot us an email or a text. My email is kbrey@goodkarmabrands.com because we love hearing from you. All right. Does it feel like you've become more interested in understanding points of view working in this format? It makes me more willing to listen, I think. I think my kind of trajectory for politics, I've always been interested in politics to a certain extent, but I would say after the 2016 election is when I got much more involved and much more interested. And as I started, for me, I think the more I learn, the less I realize I don't know. And that includes I do like talking to people on the other side. I love hearing from Bill as far as his thoughts on his point of view of the world, what information he gets that I don't get. And same thing with Steve. Any of my Republican friends or conservative friends, I love hearing from them and getting their perspective on things. And so I hope that comes across, that I can both have my values and opinions that you may not agree with, but I am very open and try to be understanding to other points of view. And I would like to have our politics reflect that more. Like I said yesterday, was that yesterday? Some point this week. I really hate this knee-jerk thought that when Democrats are being asked, do they have to win Trump voters? The answer should be yes. The answer should always be, I'm trying to win as many votes as I can and represent all of the people of the district I'm running in and address the issues that people care about instead of just I don't need Republican votes to win, or vice versa. That's what this is about, as far as actually understanding where people are coming from and what they're upset about. Because often it's a same root problem of people feeling like they're getting screwed over, that the system's not working for them, and they have different scapegoats of who they're blaming. But the problem itself is the same for I think a lot of people, and I think most of us want the same thing. So yes, I think this show did. And I also think what's great about this station is that we have such a wide range of listeners. And so the feedback we get from listeners reflects the political spectrum. And so it forces, speak for myself, forces me to be considerate of how I talk about things, knowing that it's going to be interpreted by a lot of different people coming from a lot of different walks of life. So hopefully that answered your question. All right, let's take one more break. I'll sift through the questions that we have left and answer a couple more on the other side of this, and we will wrap up today's show on Point Taken.
Wisconsin Harley-Davidson's filling up your fall calendar. Join them Sunday, October 19th for the Freedom 150 ride, celebrating 150 years of Economawalk and the U.S. Paralympic Wheelchair Curling Team. The ride starts at the dealership with stops at Open Road and West Bend Harley-Davidson, ending at Rally Point for a concert. And don't miss the early Halloween celebration, Saturday, October 25th at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and at WISHD.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Storm Fisher with Storm Fisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Osaic Advisory Services LLC. Osaic Advisory. Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory.
You gotta get to Built Right today. Vince Vitrano here to tell you about Built Right's 97th anniversary mattress celebration. The one location saves you time and money, and they make it easy to shop and easy to buy. Built Right beats any big box, national or local chain store, department store, online retailer, warehouse club, or employee-free store because they have the guaranteed lowest prices. Built Right also has the best value, selection, and experienced team in Wisconsin. Over 60 models all on display. 500 mattresses in stock. Choose from the best mattress brands made in the USA. Heirloom, Gold Bond, Therapeutic, Restonic, and Schiffman. Built Right specializes in hard-to-find, flippable, two-sided, and heavy-duty mattresses. They can hold up to 600 pounds. Plus, Built Right offers free delivery and removal on mattress-only purchases of $7.99 or more. Built Right saves you money. Voted best place to shop. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, closed to be with family. Tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlands.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you a free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Richlands.
Tune in to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
He wants to have multiple championships. And if there's a first-round exit for the Bucks, it will be hard for me to believe that Giannis has a long-term future moving forward in Milwaukee beyond this season.
Bringing you the latest in news, sports, traffic, and weather.
Artificial intelligence is making its way into nearly every part of medicine, and now a major new clinical trial is testing whether AI can help doctors detect breast cancer earlier and more accurately.
Every weekday from noon until 3 p.m. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the end of Point Taken. I am Kristin Brey, wrapping up Ask Me Anything. We have some fun ones that we can end on. I think I'm going to disappoint a lot of people. Someone asked, what's your perfect brat brand and toppings? I'm going to go with Johnsonville, which I don't think is the disappointment. But apparently being a ketchup person on a brat is sacrilegious to some people. And I think, Jaslyn just gave me an eye roll. Jaslyn, what do you put on your brat? Oh, she's coming.
Kraut and, it's more of an and or actually. Kraut and Dijon mustard.
Okay. Yeah, that's good too. But
I'll put ketchup on a hot dog.
I definitely put ketchup on a hot dog. And I'll put mustard too. I'm not a big sauerkraut person.
No? I can understand that.
But yes, Johnsonville. All right, another easy question to end with warm weather slowly going away. What do you think are the best things to do in Milwaukee, or favorite things you've done, I'm guessing, in the winter? I feel like what's been really fun this last summer of having a toddler is having to obviously find things that are toddler friendly. and getting to experience new things. And so I'm excited for that for this winter. If we get enough snow, I'm very excited to take her sledding. I think she's a little too young to try to go to any of the local, like I think she should probably be 3 before we try to put her on skis. I also need to learn how to ski. Probably that's like a next winter thing as far as us both going to any of our hills that we call ski mountains in Wisconsin and learning how to, both of us learning how to ski a little bit better. But also, like, I would love to get suggestions on things to do with kids in the winter in Wisconsin, because that is quickly approaching and we don't want to just be in our house all day because she is an active kid. And so, but yeah, in the winter, what is my favorite thing? My favorite thing, as I got into last year, I forgot what it's called, but we did a segment on it of like the Scandinavian like culture of once it starts getting really dark after once the sun starts setting, it's getting colder. And it's this idea of like making your house really cozy and like with doing more candle lights and soft lighting and fireplaces and dimming the lights and having conversation and kind of like getting into the natural hibernation of winter. So I'm a big fan of that. That's not like an actual touristy thing to do, but it's what came to mind. Yes, exactly what I thought. No. Ketchup on a brat is great. Oh, never on a hot dog. Think of, inverse. Okay. All right. Is there anything else that we have that I missed? I think we got a lot. We got a lot of them today. But next week, we'll be back to Ask Us Anything. Steve will be back. Thanks to our guest today again, Sean Hanish from No Packers, No Life. If you get to go see that movie, please let us know. I can't wait to see it, but it looks so good. I know we're in like Brewers fever right now, but you know, the Packers are playing too. And so I think that is going to be really fun to see. Also, big thanks to Senator Tammy Baldwin for making time for us today. Tomorrow, any fans of Judge Derek Mosley, you will want to come back. He is going to join us to talk about some of the events happening at the Lubar Center. He is just a delightful human being, one of my favorites. And then Quentin Claiborne from Institute for Reforming Government, who's an education expert, is going to come in, talk a lot about different education things, but specifically I'm going to ask him about the firings that happened for the special education folks at the Department of Education and what impact that will have on special education in Wisconsin. So I'm looking forward to that conversation. And of course, Jeremy Janine will be here. So thanks for joining us today. Thanks for all the questions. Midday News is next. Have a great day.
Hey, it's John McGivern here. You know I love Network Health. One of the reasons is that they're local and they understand how important that is. Their exceptional customer service isn't just words on a page. It's what they do. It's what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement.